why should we care about WebAssembly in the context of the fictional concept of browsers? Again, I've heard about this browser thing, and WebAssembly has a bunch of benefits for the browser. Things like speed, small footprint, security, developer productivity, and things like being able to deploy and rapidly and continuous deployment. All of these things are things that benefit us in the cloud as well. We want our cloud workloads to be fast. We want them to be small. We want them to be secure for a number of different reasons. We want to be able to verify that our workloads haven't been tampered with. We want to be able to prove provenance, chain of ownership, things like that. The memory sandbox and memory isolation works for us in the cloud. And we also want developer productivity and continuous deployment. So WebAssembly itself is small. I'll demonstrate a microservice that's running, and its compiled WebAssembly file is 2 megs without optimization. Most of the work we do in the host runtime, not in the Wasm file. It may or may not be a coincidence that I've lost 51 pounds since I started learning WebAssembly. True story. Thank you, sir. Oh, see, now you guys are just going to completely mess up my rhythm. But no, seriously, the applause is great. Thanks. WebAssembly is secure. So I don't know if anybody has heard about buffer overrun type of security exploits. Things like that are physically impossible inside a WebAssembly module. WebAssembly, the specification allows us to have custom sections. So we can put metadata directly inside a WebAssembly file, things like hashes and signatures. The host decides what the module can and can't do. And again, we have the isolated memory sandbox that can't leak or allow exfiltration of data that we don't want. Kind of a caveat here is that the WebAssembly format you've already seen is a well-known standard, so it can be easily disassembled. So obviously, despite all of the security benefits, don't put trade secrets in your compiled WebAssembly modules. Same reason we don't do that in JavaScript, or we try not to. WebAssembly is portable. We've seen examples of this running in the browser. We've seen examples of WebAssembly running on IoT devices. It's OS agnostic, platform agnostic. My personal agenda is that it doesn't require containers. And of course, it's only as portable as we make it. So it's portable now. The spec calls for it to be portable, but as a community, we can easily screw that up. So we need to make sure that, as we go forward, we don't do anything that gets in the way of WebAssembly's portability benefits. WebAssembly is, in theory, polyglot. We have languages that we can use to host as host runtimes for WebAssembly, and we can write WebAssembly modules in nearly any language. Rust, Go. Quick show of hands, does anybody use the language called Zig? Yes, excellent. Assembly script, we saw a bunch of really amazing stuff there. I put an asterisk next to Go because Go's current implementation assumes the existence of a JavaScript runtime, which really bothers me because, like I said, front ends don't exist.